Hi, Julie here, and I want to talk with you about certifications, very specifically Power Platform certifications. There's a lot going on here. What's an exam? What's a certification? And I'm here to chat with you and hopefully explain some of it to you in such a way that you're eager to start your journey on this certification path. So let's start with, is it an exam or is it a certification, and what's the difference? So some certifications, some introductory certifications, are what you gain after a single certification exam. For example, if you pass the fundamentals exam, PL 200 and B200, that makes you certified in Power Platform fundamentals. If you take that exam plus an additional exam, say for example the Dynamics Sales exam, then those two exams combined make you a certified associate with that functional consultant designation. And then there are some more advanced certifications which require this cumulative effect, where, for example, to become that solution architect, you need to first have achieved that functional consultant, that associate level certification, then pass the architect exam, and then those things combined get you the designation of the expert solution architect. So when it comes to these Power Platform exams, they all have these numbers, and these numbers are confusing. Their names are fairly helpful, but the numbers don't necessarily indicate a level of difficulty. It's not that 100 is easy and 600 is more difficult. They're role-based. They're not necessarily the level of difficulty. Let's jump in and talk about what those exam numbers mean and who should be taking which. Which exam is going to be right for you? Are you interested in making Power Platform a career, or are you an incidental app maker and your IT department has sent you to go learn some best practices? So let's start with PL100, the Power Platform App Maker. This is the citizen developer you may have heard about. So your job is not in the Power Platform. You have a whole nother job entirely. Maybe you're working on the shop floor, maybe you're an accountant, maybe you're an executive admin, and you want to learn about Power Platform because you'd like to make an app to make your work easier, to reduce redundant tasks, or so on. And this is a really good exam that you can take to show your IT department that you can be trusted to make these apps. The apps are going to be made pointing to data that your IT department might control, and they want to know that they can trust you. And so after you've made this app or two, you go back to your regular job. Your job is not going to be Power Platform day to day once you have made an app or two that makes your day to day more efficient. Next up is PL200, the functional consultants. And this description doesn't look like a lot, but in my opinion, this is the hardest exam to take and pass, because the functional consultant has to know so many things. They have to do so many things. So the functional consultant is making Power Apps, Canvas apps, model-driven apps. They're using Power Automate. They're building bots. They're using robotic process automation. They're building out portals. They are a Power Platform professional that does Power Platform day to day in their explicit job. Next up, we have a new one, the PL300, the Power BI Data Analyst. And this is an individual whose job is Power Platform, but their job is data with the Power Platform. They know data, they understand how users need to consume data, they know the different data sources they should be bringing in to allow their users to consume and analyze the data that they need to do their jobs. Next up, we have the Power Platform Developer. This is the coding exam. This is the exam that takes that professional code, that high code aspects of Power Platform, and assigns it to an exam. The Power Platform Developer really performs better if they understand the needs for the PL200, the Power Platform Functional Consultant, and that is because you don't want to write custom code to do something that you can do natively through standard customization or configuration without having to pull out those high code tricks, for example. And this is someone whose explicit job is to be a Power Platform developer. Next up, we have the PL600, the Solution Architect. And this is an exam that you can take the exam without having prior exam experience, but you won't get that advanced designation unless you have that combined collection to your name. But this Solution Architect is the one who needs to understand all of the moving parts for Power Platform. They need to be able to understand the customer requirements and then take those requirements and map them to capabilities with the Power Platform. They need to be able to design solutions and solve problems. So they have to have that knowledge and then they apply it to Power Platform. And Solution Architect is an explicit job that someone might have in the Power Platform. And now we have the Power Platform Fundamentals. This person may or may not be part of Power Platform, but if they are, they're certainly on the non-technical side of the Power Platform. It is a good exam for someone to be introduced to the Power Platform in all the moving parts, but not necessarily require that hands-on component. They aren't going to be spending their day writing automations. They're not going to be spending their day making apps, but they might be spending their day deciding where the money goes. And so they need to understand enough about Power Platform to make those decisions. And they need to understand it in an abstract way about what the capabilities are, what it can do, what it should do, and so on. And the best way to pass an exam is to have the experience, to do that hands-on work that gives you that muscle memory, that lets you try things out, that lets you build through trial and error great apps, great solutions, great automation. And you can do that with several of the courses that we have at 365Training. But there are many other avenues that you can use to gain that experience. But again, the best way to pass any exam is to have that practical experience doing the work. It's not just about memorizing questions and answers. It's more about being able to solve problems.